Okay, so today I'm going to cover how to use layer blended animations inside of Unreal so you can have two separate animations running on top of each other. So let's get started. So to start off with, I'm just using third person template here, and I've imported an animation of just this character holding a rifle. So say you're working on a third person shooter game, and I want the player to still be holding the rifle as they're going to be moving forward. For right now, it's just the idle. So when I move forward, you can see that that animation completely disappears and it moves straight into the running animation, and it looks like the rifle was never there. So let's so this is a use case where you would use layer blended animations to keep one part of an animation but have another part of an animation have on top. So you can have this blended with the run without having to create a separate animation just for a run. So let's go over that. You would what you have to do is open up your animation blueprint, and so inside of the locomotion, by default, there is the regular idle. I just swapped that out for the rifle idle. You can just do that by going into your asset browser, dragging, dropping the respective idle on top. There we go. So if I then compile this, you'll see, there we go. They're back to their regular idle. And if I put my rifle back on top and I compile, they're doing their, oh, let me get rid of all of this bones and this. Ah, there we go. And you can see they're doing their regular rifle holding animation. To blend in this with the run, all you're going to have to do is find your run. So it's inside of, by default, the walk run state after the blend space here. All you have to do is type in layer blend per bone. And then this gives you the option of, there's your base pose, and then there's any amount of blend poses that you're going to add. For this one, we're just going to add in two, but one for right now. And all we have to do is change its blend mode from branch filter to blend mask. And then, and what a blend mask is, it's just preset masks where certain bones are selected, where they're turned on or off. I'll go over creating it later. But for right now, we're going to choose one of the preset options, which is just upper body mask. So what this does is it takes in a base pose, masks off the upper portion of the body, and blends in whatever animation you want for the upper body that you plug in here. So all we're going to do is we're going to bring in our rifle idle, plug that into our blend pose, and by doing that, we should have a fairly good looking walking animation blended with our idle. So here's our idle, and if I start running, you'll see that I'm still holding the rifle, but I'm also running. But you can kind of see that the head looks a little off. I believe in the animation, the head kind of looks around, and it's also pointed down. So let's try to fix that by creating our own blend masks, like I said earlier. And the way to create your own blend mask is to go into the mannequin, and all you do that is go to your characters, mannequins, meshes, and skeleton SK mannequin right here. At least if you're using the pre-made skeleton, if you have your own, just open up the skeleton that is associated um, with your character. And I want to be able to see the bones here a little bit. So if you go over to the top here where we click character, bones, and then all hierarchy, that'll just show the whole skeleton. And we want to mask off just the head so that the head's not doing any animation from the rifle idle. So all we need to do is just select that bone, and it'll automatically select the top. So there's neck 1, neck 2, and head. Those are the 3 bones that we're going to want to mask off. And to create a mask, all you're going to have to do is click on this little gear icon up here. Go to blend profiles. There are the presets right there. And at the very bottom, add blend mask. So click on that. And then it's going to want you to name your blend. We're just going to call this one head. And then there are now sliders next to all of the bones. So by default, this mask has all of the other bones turned off. And you just have to turn on the ones that you want masked on. So we're going to want the neck 1, neck 2, and head all turned on. Press save. And if we go back to our animation blueprint here, and in our layer blend per bone, add an extra pin. And we're not even going to plug anything into this second pose, but all we're going to say is mask off head. And then if we compile this and then start running, you see that the head doesn't do any of the extra business from the rifle idle animation. It's actually doing nothing. There is no animation attached to the head, but you can do your own head animation or take it from another animation if you want to plug into the blend plug. But we're just not going to plug anything in, so it's just not going to have any animation data. So the head just keeps looking forward and not, wobbling back and forth or looking to the left and right. It just stays facing forward. So that is it. That is the whole gist of how to use layered animations inside of Unreal. You can have many use cases for this. If you have a melee focus game and you want the player to be able to attack whilst they're running, you can use masks to blend off the upper body, just like we're doing here for your attack animation. And inside of wherever you play your montage for your sword, you can just have it play it based on the you can set it inside of the montage to mask only the upper body, so that when you play that montage, none of the lower body animations will play, so the character won't have to stop their movement to attack. They can attack whilst they're running. And this doesn't only work for rifle idles. You can also do this while you're firing your weapon in a shooter, or even when you're reloading, so you can reload on the go. So tons of use cases for this. But yeah, that is it. That is how you use layer blended animation inside of Unreal. And yeah,